Hey everyone and welcome. So today we're diving into something that honestly sounds amazing, falling prices. I mean, just imagine a world where everything you want to buy, your phone, your food, even a new car, just keeps getting cheaper. It sounds like a dream, right? Well, we're about to pull back the curtain and see why this perfect sounding scenario is actually one of the biggest threats to a modern economy.
Okay, really think about this for a second. Picture it. Every dollar you have is getting more powerful, day by day. That vacation you've been saving up for, boom, it just got cheaper. That new TV you've been eyeing, if you just wait a month, you'll probably get an even better deal. It really does sound like a dream come true. But as you're about to see, this is a dream that can turn into a real nightmare, fast. So let's start with why this is so appealing in the first place. There's a formal name for this whole idea, and once we get what that is, the rest of the story starts to make a lot more sense. And that term is deflation. You've definitely heard of inflation, right? That's when prices go up. Well, deflation is the exact opposite. We're talking about a widespread, ongoing drop in prices across the entire economy. This isn't just a weekend sale, it's a whole economic shift.
And the first thing you notice? It feels great. Your purchasing power goes way up. That same $20 bill in your pocket can suddenly buy you more than it did last month. So, on the surface, what could possibly be wrong with that?
Well, this is where the story takes a very sharp turn. Because hiding just under that shiny, appealing surface is a really serious threat. This is the point where we go from a shopper's paradise to an economist's worst-case scenario. And right here, you can see the central problem. On one hand, the promise is simple. Your money is worth more, and stuff gets cheaper. Awesome. But on the other hand, the peril is so much bigger. It makes people stop spending, which grinds the whole economy to a halt. And, this is a big one, it makes any debt you owe feel so much heavier. Let's break down exactly how that all plays out. So, the first huge danger is what economists call the deflationary spiral. And it's not just a little slowdown, it's a nasty, self-feeding cycle that once it gets going is incredibly hard to stop. It all starts with one single, totally illogical question that we all start asking ourselves. Why would I buy this today if I know it's going to be cheaper tomorrow? Right? If you know that car or that laptop will cost less next month, the smartest move is just to wait. And when everybody starts waiting, that's when this spiral kicks in.
And this is how that vicious cycle works. It starts with that expectation. We all just assume prices will keep falling. So what do? We delay our purchases. But when nobody's buying anything, the demand for goods and services just collapses. And then companies have to react. Their profits are vanishing, so they cut costs. And what does that mean? It means cutting wages or, even worse, laying people off. Which of course means people have even less money to spend, the economy gets even weaker, and it just reinforces the whole idea that prices have to fall even more. See? It's a toxic feedback loop.
But believe it or not, that's only half of the problem. The second major danger of deflation is what it does to debt. We're talking mortgages, student loans, business loans, you name it. Deflation makes paying them back way, way harder. Let's just use a big, round number to make this real. Imagine you took out a mortgage for $250,000. That number is fixed. It's written down in a contract, and it is not going to change. So here's the crucial part. In a deflationary world, prices are falling, and your income is probably falling too. But that $250,000 debt, it stays exactly the same. So you have to pay back this fixed amount of money with dollars that are becoming harder and harder to earn. In real terms, the weight of your debt just got a whole lot heavier. And the fallout from this just ripples through the entire economy. Families and businesses get squeezed, they have to cut back their spending even more just to try and keep up with these heavier loan payments. The risk of people defaulting on their loans goes through the roof, which puts huge stress on the banks. And for companies, it's a total double whammy. The price of what they sell is falling, while their debt is getting harder to pay off. It just crushes their profit. So you can probably guess that with a threat this big, the people who manage the economy, well, they work really, really hard to make sure this never actually happens.
Yeah, this isn't just some textbook theory. Deflation is a known enemy. For central banks and governments, it's basically a code red emergency for the economy, and they have a whole toolkit ready to fight it off. The main goal is to stop that downward spiral before it can even get started.
So how do they actually fight it? Well, they pretty much do the exact opposite of what deflation wants. They need to get people spending again, not hoarding cash. They do things like lowering interest rates to make it super cheap to borrow money, and they find ways to pump more cash into the economy. The whole idea is just to get money moving again and to break that cycle of, I'll just wait till next month.
So when you boil it all down, the main takeaway is this. Sure, the idea of your money becoming more valuable sounds incredible, but the damage it causes by stalling out the economy and crushing people with debt is just way too high a price to pay.
And that kind of leaves us with one last interesting question to chew on. If we know that falling prices are this dangerous, does that mean the opposite? A world where prices are always rising just a little bit isn't just something we tolerate, but something we actually want? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.